We have a really beautiful hand, but unfortunately we are going second, not first. And my opponent has just passed their turn, I don't know why, and they activate Maxi during my draw phase. So that means we gotta be a little bit careful here, because each time we make a special summon he's going to draw a card. Now we have no clue about what my opponent is playing. Their set cards are trebling because probably they are trying to interrupt my plays. But we don't afraid, we just activate a Hero Lives and special summon Shadow Mist. Now the reason why I have special summon Shadow Mist here is I already have enough combo starters, as you can see in my hand. So I was thinking that if one of these cards are a troubling card, so that means I need to bait my opponent, right? And Shadow Mist is the perfect card to do that. My opponent will draw a card because of Maxi, activate her effect, and the moment that I try to resolve that effect, my opponent just chains with Imperm. So this was kinda expected, but that's okay. We still have a bunch of cards in our hand, we can continue doing our combos. I haven't used my normal summon yet, so that's why I'm going to normal summon Stratos. And I'm not going to make a search from my deck, I'm going to use this effect, which pops a card on the field. I was still afraid of this card, could be another interruption, so that's why I destroyed that card, and I was actually lucky to be worried, because as you can see it was super polymerization. Imagine that I would try to build a full board, special summon DPE, Contrast Chaos, etc. My opponent would just activate super polymerization and get rid of everything in my board. But that's why it is always important to think before we act. Now I'm just trying to doing bunch of standard hero combos, and as you can see my opponent has just surrendered. I mean, he could have activated more hand traps, but probably we would just continue summoning even under those interruptions. So that's why he just quit and we win this match. Now this time we are going first, and let's check it out our hands. We have a bunch of useful cards such as Fusion Destiny, which is a one card combo starter, but unfortunately this card is the only starter that we have, so we gotta be careful a little bit. Now I activate Fusion Destiny and my opponent chains back with Fuvalos, which is okay, at least it is better than Maxi when you think about it, but still, each time we special summon he's going to draw cards, so we gotta be careful a little bit. Now, I fusion summon DPE, and after that, my opponent drops a card, and then I activate Triple T. Why? Because he has activated a monster effect during the main phase, so that's why I can resolve Triple T, but unfortunately, my opponent has activated Ash Blossom. The card that he drew, literally Ash Blossom, so this was kinda unfortunate, and I won't be able to draw two cards, but it's okay. I mean, we still have plays. We can special summon Malicious, we can special summon Denier, we can go for extra hero Cross Crusader and do more plays, but you know, he drops another card because we special summon Malicious, and the card that he drew was Harmonia, which is a new hand trap that has been recently released in the Master Duel, and this is a strong hand trap because it has bunch of effects, and you will see what's gonna happen in a second. So basically he's just revealing simple monsters from his extra deck, and then he's going to send one of them to the graveyard, he's going to special summon this card to the field, and he's going to destroy one of my monsters on the field. And that's not all. The card that he sent to the graveyard is Malog, which can return a card on my field, but I'm not going to let him because I don't have any other place left if I return Malicious to my hand, so that means I need to be creative here, and I activate Forbidden Droplet from my hand. So that means he won't have any target on my field, and I can just bring Malicious back. So when you think about it, this one hand trap literally had two interruption effects. So that's why this hand trap is quite strong. Not every single deck can play it, but the ones who can play this card are quite lucky, because you just witnessed what just happened, right? So we are going for Cross Crusader, but the issue is we are still playing under full a lot, so my opponent is just keep drawing cards more and more. We don't really care about it because he has already activated a bunch of hand traps, but we're still trying to be careful a little bit here. For example, I searched for Lion, I normal summoned him, and I set Mass Change with the help of Fountain, because I don't want him to draw any more cards from his deck, otherwise it will be super difficult for us to defend ourselves. But now at least we have somewhat a win condition, because now we can special summon Masquerade Darklord to our field. Before we enter standby phase, our opponent has activated Call by the Grave, because he wants to banish my DPE so that I cannot resurrect him, but still we have Dark Lord, that means we still have a chance, and he banished DPE, but we can still special summon another Destiny Hero Monster from our graveyard, because that effect hasn't been negated. So he normal summons a Predaplant monster and surrenders, probably because most of his effects rely on graveyard and my opponent card will be banished instead of going to the graveyard, because of Dark Lord's effect, and he didn't throw Super Polymerization as you can see, so that's why he won't be able to get rid of my field, and that's how we win this match easily. So we are going first again one more time. When you look at this hand, we only have Purulia as a hand trap, and we have a bunch of combo starters. Elemental Hero Neos and Malicious can be brick depending on what you have in your hand, so we will just try to use this card for our advantage. I decide to activate Purulia during my draw phase in case my opponent plays a deck that can do turn 0 plays. So I activate Miracle Ejector's effect and Special Summon her to my field, search for End Shuffle, the usual plays, and then I return her back and Special Summon Status. Try to make another search, but at that moment my opponent has just activated Imperm, which is okay because we still have our normal summon if you remember. Now we have Vion in our hand, so that means we are just going to normal summon him and send Shadow Mist to the graveyard. With the help of her, we are going to make another search from our deck, which is going to be Duskrow, and also we can use its second effect, which is going to help us to search for Polymerization. We can go for number 60 together and make another search from our deck because it can Special Summon Status back from our graveyard to the field, and because Status effect is not hard once per turn, we can search as much as we want. Now I'm going to activate Duskrow's effect, banish Vion and Special Summon himself. This is going to help us to search another Master Duel monster, and I just continue doing my combos by Special Summoning Fountain itself. I didn't want to resolve Ferris. I mean, I can Special Summon him, but if I use its second effect, that means I will be locked into the Hero Monster, so that means I won't be able to Special Summon cards like Crossship. So maybe I should have just held Fountain in my hand for longer, but that's okay. We haven't misplayed too hard. Now, we can actually fusion summon Flaming Man because we had two elemental hero monsters with different attributes. Now, I'm going to resolve this chain, and if you remember, we need to put Crossship as chain link 1 if you want to special summon Stratos to our field and make another search. But I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to special summon Aqua Dolphin because I already have enough searches in my hand and I can fusion summon whatever I want. These cards that in my field are more than enough. I just want to check what my opponent is playing because until now he hasn't played anything yet. And I was kind of suspicious, like, did he out of hand traps or does he have another plan? And the moment that I check his hand, as you can see, he's playing a Chimera deck with double even the match in his hand. So that means we're in big trouble. I need to stop him playing even the match. So the only card that can help me right now is Contra Serial Chaos. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fusion summon him. Because Masquerade Darkglow or DPE won't help me to stop even the match. Because as you remember, its effect literally banishes everything on my field, which we don't want that, otherwise our opponent will be just summon something and finish us quite easily. So this is the end board. As you can see, we have an Omni Negate, we have DPE, Sunrise, and we have Favorite Contact, which is set. My opponent has realized that I'm just going to negate even the match, so that's why he decides to surrender, and probably his hand is not that great either, so that's how we win this match. Now as you can see, once again, special summoning Aqua Dolphin and checking my opponent's hand is really important. It helped me to shape my end board, and that's how we win this match. So this is going to be our final match and we are going first. Now unfortunately we only have Foolish Burial in our hand as a combo starter, but that's okay because we are already familiar with it, and I'm going to activate it immediately so that we can send Shadow Mist to the graveyard and make a hero search from our deck, which is going to be Miracle Ejector. Now, if you like, you can also search for Visioneer Ferris because we have a hero monster in our hand and also it is Malicious, so that means if you send Malicious as a cost to the graveyard, later on you can special summon him to the field. But I don't like to be locked into the hero monsters, as you know, so that's why I chose Miracle Ejector since it's a one-card combo starter, unlike Ferris. But the moment that I make a search, as you can see, my opponent has activated Draw Lockbird, which was unfortunate, but it's okay, we can still special summon Miracle Ejector and we can use our normal summon, so that we can link summon Introvert Anaconda and fusion summon DPE, but that's the only play that we can do so far, and let's just hope that our opponent doesn't play a broken deck so that he can beat us during his turn. And also we have Ash Blossom in our hand, so that means we can just survive the turn. Now I decided to destroy Verta Anaconda because I was assuming that maybe my opponent is running Super Polymerization, so that's why I wanted to control DPE as the only Dark Attribute Master on my field. And also I special summon Furnace from my graveyard because when I activated Fusion Destiny, I actually sent Furnace on purpose. An extra body to defend ourselves since our end board is not that great. And also both of them are different attributes, so we are still in a great position against Super Polymerization. Now, my opponent has activated Ice Barrier, and it's been a really long time that I haven't faced against Ice Barrier. It's a potential deck, it's a nice deck, but also I don't remember how to stop this deck, so that's why the moment they try to make a search from their deck, I just try to stop their play with Ash Blossom. And he summons a monster. When I look at his ability, it says you can discard one card as a cost and special summon an Ice Barrier from your deck. So that means this is an important card and this is not a quick effect. So the moment that he summons this Ice Barrier creature, I activate DPE's effect and destroy both Furnace and his monster. And luckily, he doesn't have any other place. So that means until now, we played correct. Now we draw increase, which is unfortunate, but it doesn't mean that we won't be able to do anything. As you remember, I set polymerization just to bait my opponent so that they can think that I control Imperm or something like that. Now the only issue is every monster that I control is a Dark Attribute monster. So the only fusion monster that I can special summon from my deck is Visionary Trinity. Now, you might be thinking that, wait, we have 5k attack point monster in our field and it can attack 3 times, so isn't this enough to win our game? Well, unfortunately, Trinity cannot attack directly. So that means this card is pretty much useless in our field. But don't worry, we still have Malicious in our graveyard, so I'm just going to summon Denier and Malicious to my field. And then we will go for Link Summoning into Cross Crusader so that we can make a search from our deck. But first, I'm going to special summon back DPE from my graveyard because Cross Crusader can resurrect Destiny Hero monsters, and since we have DPE, we can easily special summon him back to the field because this card was properly fusion summoned earlier. Now, I special summon Malicious one more time to the field and activate Cross Crusader search effect so that I can search for Stratos. We haven't normal summoned yet, so that's why I can normal summon Stratos and make another search, which is going to be Duskrow. And then I special summon Malicious one more time from my deck and go into Wonder Driver so that we can recycle our Polymerization and Fusion cards. Now I special summon Duskrow and recycle Polymerization, and meanwhile I try to make a search from my deck, which is going to be a Mask Hero card, which is Fountain, obviously. And then I activate Polymerization in order to fusion summon Sunrise. I wanted to fusion summon Sunrise because we can search for Miracle Fusion from our deck. That means once we activate it, we can summon an additional fusion monster to our field, which is going to help us to finish our opponent. But I haven't activated in case my opponent has a card in their hands, such as Nibiru or a card that can special summon itself and protect us. So I just wanted to have a backup card. And as you can see, this field is more than enough to finish my opponent. And we are just using our direct attacks and win the match. So as you can see, even if our opponent has played through Lockbird and we only have DPE in our field, we still could be able to finish our opponent because we had Ash Blossom and DPE's distraction effect. So in the end, we won the match. And that was all for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed the videos that I showed it to you today. If you have any questions related to the videos, just let me know in the comment section and I'll try to do my best to explain. And I'll see you guys next time.